Friends and church family, our reading today comes from one of my favorite books in the Bible, the book of Philippians. We're going to be reading from chapter 4, verse 4. And most of you probably know it, but here's what it says. It says, "Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice." So Paul is writing to the Christians in Philippi, saying, no matter what your circumstances are, we are to rejoice in the Lord and what he's doing. What's even more amazing about it is the Apostle Paul is probably chained to a Roman guard. He was most likely under house arrest, which he was for 2 years. But in that moment, he wasn't necessarily looking at the downside of his circumstances, that he wasn't continuing to plant churches. He wasn't out in the field strengthening his current churches, but he was sitting in a home and he wasn't able or allowed to go anywhere. But because he's too busy rejoicing in the Lord, he's going to be known by his reasonableness. He's giving all of his requests to God. He's also has the peace of God which surpasses all understanding. Now, currently, many of us are under house arrest or home quarantine, however you want to call it, social distancing. And we can get caught up and look at the downside of the situation. We can be paying too close attention to the news and the negative spin on everything. Maybe seeing the rising numbers of people who are sick and those that have passed away because of the coronavirus. Maybe we're bummed out because we can't go anywhere. The beaches are closed. Our 401ks now look like 201ks. Or maybe you've just finished Netflix. What the Apostle Paul is challenging us to do is to look and rejoice in the Lord and how he's working in our current circumstance. And I would challenge you to do the same. What are ways that you can praise God for things that you've experienced because you're on home quarantine? I know me personally, I'm thankful for the extra time with my wife and kids. I don't normally get to eat lunch with them, but I've been eating lunch with them every day. Yes, our house now looks more regularly like this. Don't tell my wife I showed you this. It's our secret. But I get to spend with them more added time every day. Other things I'm thankful for is I'm thankful for a place to home quarantine. I'm also thankful for that in the last 2 weeks, I've had more connection with my neighbors than I had in the last 6 months combined. And one of the things I'm most thankful for is having the privilege to watch many of you step out courageously because of Jesus and serve those that have a great need in this really bizarre time. And so I want to challenge you, make a list of those things that you can rejoice in the Lord and be thankful to him, those things that you've experienced that you wouldn't necessarily have experienced or recognized without home quarantine. God bless.